about your work, about mindful holiday, and what you have been thinking about doing it.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's kind of a research, so I'm still gathering information and trying to understand the subjects that I'm looking at. But so far I've been thinking about looking at different parts of our lives, different activities, or you could say rituals which we engage in, even though we may not call them rituals. But we kind of do the same things every time at certain times. For example, in the morning, catching the ferry, everybody goes through the ticket barrier, sits in the same seat, gets a similar breakfast, or when we go to work or shopping, and there's a set way of doing things. And I called it a kind of a choreography because we do it so often, it's been very well rehearsed, and everyone knows what they're supposed to do in that situation. And we very rarely break out of it and do something different in that situation. So I've been kind of looking at some of these activities, trying to separate them from the rest of our lives and look at them in isolation and discover how strange they seem when you do separate them. I called them found actions a little bit after Marcel Duchamp, when he said he found objects. So he took objects out of their original context and into a gallery space, and they became something different because they'd lost their original meaning, and we could look at them completely fresh. And I'm kind of trying to do that with activities and actions as well. I did another performance a year or two ago called Going Round in Circles, and it was based on the typical working day. So I found a circular path around a hill, and I walked from 9 to 5 just around the hill, just stopping for tea breaks at the usual times like 10:30, 3:30, and then I stopped for a lunch break. And of course, some people have jobs they don't like. You know, this is a fact of life. Maybe they work in a factory or something, and so the time they're at work, they give up that time in order to receive a salary that they can live on. So I was walking around this hill. This took up my entire day, and symbolically, at the end of the 8 hours, I'd gone nowhere. I ended up back exactly the same spot I started, and I was carrying a bag of tools. I didn't use them to create anything, and the only product I had, you could say a product, was I marked off the loops of the hill that I'd walked around during the course of the entire day. So I'm kind of investigating these kind of parts of our lives which are usually ignored. If that makes any sense.